Welcome back to the Bricks. On the set, on the scene, you know how we do it. Mike Lewis, aka Mr. One Time.
It's the one time.
Can't void it to me, right?
It's just me.
We still working on the nickname, but we talking about the prospects of these two teams, Michigan and Louisville, possibly doing something again next year. We know it's not like the NBA, where sometimes you can build this dynasty because you got people under contract.
Right.
You know, a lot of guys, if they have a good season or whatever, they want to come out and go to the NBA draft. So my thing with Michigan, you know, you got a lot of talks of Robinson, McGarry, Trey Burke, and Hardaway all leaving. You know, Hardaway being a late first round or early second rounder, but the other players are talking about lottery picks. What's your take?
Right. I mean, I think about McGarry. I mean, honestly, he's really had a handful of games that he has to his resume.
Right.
Now a lot of guys that have made jumps to the NBA have had, you know, maybe a few games, and they say you have a game that's suited more so for the NBA, but that'll be more of a backcourt type player that's able to make that transition. You know what I mean? But Mitch McGarry, I still feel like he has a lot more to improve on, to improve on. And I mean, he has time. I feel like another year should be able to do it for him. As far as the other guys, Trey Burke, lottery pick.
He ready.
Yeah, he's ready to go, no doubt about it. He's put in his work, came back, you know, for another year, and led his team to the Final Four in the national championship game. You know, there's a lot of talks there of Glenn Robinson III being another guy that could possibly go in the first round. I feel like there's a lot of kinks to his game. He hasn't even had a chance to show up and show what he is out there besides just a guy, you know, a pickup guy, even in college for this team around his talent. You know, so I feel like he should stay. And surprisingly, another guy, you know, I feel like should stay number one, who will be taken last after all of these guys, is Tim Hardaway Jr. You know, he still has some work to do when it comes to ball handling, because he will be playing the two-guard position in the NBA. And I feel like, you know, his consistency hasn't been, you know, what it should be. So I feel like he needs another year. But I remember earlier in the year when we was, you know, spotlighting things in the after the first round in the NCAA tournament, I was the first one to say that, hey, McGarry, you know, a guy that a lot of people are not talking about, that, you know, could be a guy that the NBA is going to come calling for, and then the coach is going to be looking and salivating over it. And, you know, turns out, you know what I mean, I was right about that. But I still feel like, you know, he should go back for another year. And you have John Beilein as a coach. You know, you go to, you know, one of the greatest universities in the world. You know, probably the best overall when you factor in athletics and academics and everything. I mean, what more do you want? Why not go back? You have John Beilein coaching you. Great, you know, people coming in. The future look, you know, very bright for these guys. So in Mitch McGarry, they have no guy that'll come in and replace him. I feel like a forecast starting five could be a McGarry, you know, the guy that they have coming in at power forward to play for them. They have, you know, Zach Irvin coming in. You know, it could be Glenn Robinson III at the three, and Derek Walton at the point. So you know, Donnell, the guy coming in from Ohio, the power forward. So I mean, they have, you know, and that's the projected, and probably Spike. I mean, who knows after Spike has performed with another year? I mean, he may step up and become a, you know, a big time player for the Wolverines, or at least a good, you know, substitution and sixth man off the bench. So I mean, and LeVert, I mean, Lil KD, I mean. The future looks extremely bright for Michigan, but, you know, on the other side of things, what do you think about Louisville and, you know, their chances of making it back here next year?
Probably may go down a little bit. You know, Russ Smith is talking about he's going to enter the NBA draft. Like I said, I was a fan of Russ Smith. I don't know about the whole height thing. You know, he may be like a Kemba Walker type, but Kemba Walker actually had a pretty good year this year. You know, you talking about Peyton Siva. Haven't really heard too much about him, what he's gonna do. But just, hey, if Patino gonna be there today, you got a shot. So, you know, I'm sure people want to go there. I mean, Louisville is a very respected school. But, you know, with other teams, you always got to worry about North Carolina's, the Dukes. You know what they
Kentucky's. They just recruited a starting five and the six man. You know, so I mean, you would be remiss to not put them in and factor them in. So those 4 teams seem like the front runners to, you know, have a chance to be there next year. So I mean, I would definitely put them in the same equation and same categories, those guys, and give them the same amount of chances as anyone else.
It's so difficult with college, you know. You just don't know what's going to happen. To say for sure, oh, they're going to be back, you know, like I said with the NBA earlier.
Right.
You pretty much know every year it's about 4 to 6 teams got a shot. College, who knows? Somebody have a breakout year.
Wichita State, I mean, Florida Gulf Coast, which I don't know if they'll be making more runs with their coach.
Kentucky, look what happened. Nerlens Noel goes down when they end up at NIT.
Right.
So it's like, you don't know. You just don't know. And he's still projected to be #1 overall pick. That's how bad the projected draft is, really. A dude that got hurt still possibly can go #1. But he's a big time shot blocker, so, you know.
I mean, guys... I mean, Ben McLemore is a guy that's even, you know, talking about who has, I mean.
And he needs to come back.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, there's a lot more to discuss, and we'll get on in that a little bit later on down the line. But for now, Louisville is your 2013 national champions. Michigan, your runner-ups, 1 and 2. I feel like we'll be seeing these guys a little bit more in the future. But for now, Ken Boyer, Mike Lewis, Mr. One Time, broadcast from BPR Studios. We'll see you soon.